I loved it because of who went home.
I knew that was going to be a thing.
I'm sorry, not sorry. Welcome back to Condone Yourself, where we're here to talk about season 15, episode 13 now. Lucky 13. Well, not for
some
one queen.
Unlucky for Lucy.
Unlucky for
Spoiler
Lucy
alert.
Leduca. Spoiler. We have OT.
What's up, people?
We have Kelly.
Hey, everybody.
And me, Joe. So let's get into it. It's the makeover challenge. Love these episodes. At least I do.
I do.
So,
I thought this one was so cute.
Yeah, it was very cute. And I like the fact that it was, supporting teachers. Because, we all remember, at least I do, I remember my favorite teachers that I've
There
had.
were no good teachers in my whole life. None of them mattered. No one ever did anything for me.
That explains a lot.
Sure.
It explains a lot, OT.
Mine was more like what Haley Kiyoko said at some point, where she was like, my favorite was my first grade teacher because I thought I would marry her.
Yeah.
Yes, that was many of my teachers.
Yes.
Like every young, cute female teacher, it was just like, well, you're gonna be my future wife.
Yeah, all I had was female teachers, so I really didn't have
like a crush.
I had a male teacher, but they were either old or it was like this big jockey like gym teacher that walked
like the football coach.
Yeah, it was just no neck.
Well, I've had crushes on my male and female teachers, but my favorite teacher. We should do that. Who is everyone's favorite teacher? Like, can you remember who your favorite teacher was?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do tell.
Yeah, my first favorite teacher was second grade, Miss Crocker. And I loved her because when we did great in school, like A's and B's, she would take us for pizza at Pizza Hut or took us to see Home Alone. Yes, I'm that old. Well, I think it was Home Alone 2. And she was just fantastic. She got me to do better in school or want to do better. And then when she got pregnant with twins, I made sure my mom visited the hospital when she had the babies. And I'm pretty sure I was her only elementary school kid that did that.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Your mom was like, fine, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Well, I did ask her too, because my mom was still in the military then. I asked her as well if she could take me in while my mom goes to her war. And she asked her husband and they said yes. My mom was really embarrassed.
Like, will you adopt me when my mom's gone?
Yeah, I was like, you can go to your own war. I got everything already situated.
I got a second family lined up.
I'm staying with Miss Crocker.
I have two. One in high school was my Spanish teacher, Senora Burnett, because she was as shady and sassy as like our favorite drag queens. She just did not care. And I was in there with some of my best friends and we were ridiculous and had ridiculous sense of humor, and she loved us. She was incredible. And then I had an English professor in like my first year of college that was just like, she actually got in touch with me like years later. It was like, I've been trying to find you. I still remember you, but, et cetera. Yeah, she was amazing.
I have a 1 and a 1.5 because if I had to rate teachers out of 100, like my top choice is Jennifer Carlisle Peters. She was my third grade teacher. And then a very, very close second is Mr. Robert Feehan. He was my fourth grade teacher. But Jennifer tops the list because Jennifer was the first person to ever affirm my questioning sexual orientation as a third grader. I was actually being bullied by this kid in the hallway. We were on our way coming from lunch. I will never forget it. And he called me a faggot. And he said it, in the way that people say faggot to strip you of your maleness, yes, and to hurt you and use it as a weapon against you. And normally when people said that word to me, it just made me shrink. And that's what I did in that moment. I shrunk, and she saw me shrink, and she corrected the young man and said, don't you ever call him that word again. Even if he is gay, that word is not okay to use, and it's his prerogative to be gay. Whatever he is not your business.
Yeah. It's
And
amazing.
Mic drop.
right. And like, when I was in the 3rd grade, you are talking, this was like 1984.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
we were one.
it was,
There was no gay straight alliances then. There wasn't even when I was in high school in the 90s.
yeah,
No.
and
Same.
so
Yeah.
as a 3rd grader, like that was the first time someone ever, I mean, any adult ever stood up for me. Luckily, I got to tell her about that later in life, but I told her I carried those words with me for the rest of my life, and that's where I eventually got the strength from to move forward and come out and like live my authentic life, because somebody told me that I could.
Yeah, and that it wasn't a problem.
Yeah, like she was the first person, even though she didn't know I was gay, she wasn't, it wasn't anything she was probably sure
It didn't
about.
matter.
Right. None of that mattered. Like, it just mattered that she stood up and she told people, like, regardless of who you are, you're okay.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to do that. And what was even crazier is later in life, not too much later, like actually later in that school year, I got in trouble, and she was like, "You know what I'm gonna do? I'm walking you home to school. I'm gonna tell your mother about how you behave today in person." And then she gets to my house, and her and my mother look at each other. Why did they go to college together? Why were they friends?
Of course. Of course.
Like, what are the chances? So yeah, Jennifer Carlisle Peters, I love and adore you. You are my angel, and thank you.
And it was hard when we were like elementary, middle school, high school to know like what was a safe space and what wasn't, because nothing was like defined like that, right? There wasn't like groups or and I remember getting to college and being so astounded when I would go to like office hours and the instructor would have like the stickers being like with the rainbow being like, this is a safe space, this is an office for, whatever, denoting that they were like super accepting and an ally or whatnot. And I'm being like, this is the most amazing thing, but that seems so like trivial now, but it was such like a revolutionary thing.
It was a big deal
in 2001.
It's sort of like the first time you go to a bar or something and you see a pride flag.
Yeah.
Right. And you realize like, oh, wow. Especially when it's in an unexpected place.
Yeah.
So I guess we should talk about the show.
Yeah.
Sure. So it starts with the amazing shade, basically, from Selena. Her last message being like, I guess I got what I deserved. She was so mad.
She was salty. But I think some of that was just like projecting.
Yeah.
I did
see a TikTok. It was at Roscoe's, which I guess is in Chicago. I've never been there.
Roscoe's is in Chicago.
But they do like some big watch parties there, and then they have a lot of the queens, and it was Anitra, Selena, and like 2 others, and they were talking about this episode. And I guess when they first came back in with like to read the lipstick on the mirror, they also, the queens had pictures of all the queens, and they would like move a picture over to be like, okay, Lucy's left, move her picture over to like the queens that have sashayed away. And they found Lucy's picture was torn into tiny pieces. So Selena had torn up, and she at Roscoe's was just like, listen, I was mad. So that's what we didn't see in the uncut version, was not only did she write that on the mirror, but she completely like shredded up Lucy's picture.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think it was projection. Like, she was justifiably upset.
Mad.
Well, I mean, I didn't know that side of the story, so there you go.
But even if I didn't know that part of the story, like if I'm standing in her shoes, I'm pissed because you just cried on my shoulder, and then you're gonna like flip the script, and then not even be honest about why you flipped the script.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of Lucy in that sense. I was thinking of the fact that she was more disappointed in herself for, not pushing harder or being in a different mindset than she was.
Okay.
But she was letting a lot of the girls dim her a little bit or get to her. And
I don't think anybody was dimming her or getting to her. You thought that?
That's what she said. She said those words. She said, "Don't let anybody dim your light."
But she was the only one dimming. Like everyone, that's garbage, because I feel like, and maybe I missed that last week, and now we're talking about last week's episode. But
yeah, that's all I meant by the projection.
Yeah, no,
I don't know if it's true or
I don't see any truth to that. Like everybody was super nice to her. Like I think Selena is the clear. I think Selena, well, except Lucy. I think Selena is the clear winner for Miss Congeniality this year. Like everybody liked her. She was nice to everybody all the time.
Lucy ain't gonna give it to her.
Lucy's gonna think she was Miss Congeniality, and
so is Lux. She's like, I should win that. I should win everything.
And, Lux and Lucy are gonna vote for themselves, and everyone else will vote for Selena.
I don't think Lux will vote for herself. She's a little bit more self-aware than Lucy.
But yeah, okay, so let's talk about this episode.
Okay, so that was a little bit of the shade, and then the second dose, like helping of shade that we got even like early in the episode was when they were sitting on the couches, and then Lux just like doubled down on being like, yeah, it's generic. Like your drag is not as good as everybody's. I love, like in this episode, Lux made me laugh so much, because also the same conversation came up in Untucked, and she was just like, yeah, no, compared to everybody else's, it's just like nothing special. It was just like,
and I don't understand why that critique got under her skin, except that she knows it as well on some level, because it's not the best critique in the world, but it also wasn't like, she didn't shade her really. She just said, what you do is great, but it's just
we've seen it before.
Yeah, it's just regular drag. And
I know why.
That's accurate. And that's not a terrible thing.
It is accurate, but Lucy's perception of herself is that she's the only person like her from her small town. Itty bitty town.
That is true.
So
you are a big fish in a small pond.
What she thinks of as creative is something that other people are doing in bigger, well-known areas, but she doesn't see that. She still lives in her small town. She said
she's the Maddie Morphosis of
I was just gonna say she's more creative than Maddie Morphosis, so she's like, I'm killing it.
Yeah, she said in Untucked that she doesn't have a drag family.
No,
right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she doesn't have a drag family. She also didn't she say something about like not having a lot of drag friends?
No, yeah, she doesn't have anybody in the drag community, no drag family. She doesn't have a daughter, a mother, any of that. And she's like, I do have a lot of people that I give advice to. Ding, ding, ding. Nobody's giving advice to Lucy.
Right.
She's giving all the advice. She's the apex predator of her friend circle or family. And so, of course, she's going to be the only person creative because she has no one else to ping pong against.
Lucy, but I think Tyrannosaurus Rex.
You're both wrong, because she said multiple times this episode that it did not bother her. She does not give a fuck what Lux is saying. I was just like, no one is buying that.
Beyond the fact that you continuously bring it up.
Oh, and at the end, she broke down leaving, packing.
Yep.
And then she said, I did deserve to win that sitcom challenge.
And she also said, like, it's gonna take me some time to get over some of this. And I'm like, oh, so you mean you're not? It did bother you? Because you said I don't give a fuck. I don't care what they say. Yes, you do. And it's fine.
She's genuine.
And therein is the problem.
Lord.
That inability to just be authentic and honest. And here's the deal. And I'm going to say this to all of you, America. Right? It is okay to say something and mean it and then get new information and change what you said. That is
Yes.
fine.
Yes.
Because you can say in the moment and mean it, you know what? I didn't care what they say. F them because you're angry and
Yeah.
that's how you feel in that moment. But once you take a moment and process your feelings and recognize that, yeah, it did bother you, it's okay to come back and be like, you know what? On second thought, that did bother me. I am upset about that. That did hurt my feelings. Right. But I like she gets in this place where it's like, if I say something, I have to do exactly that. I have to
Just
follow it
double down.
through to the
Mhm.
nth degree. And you don't that anyway, it didn't serve her. The end.
Yeah.
So we get into the workroom, and then they did a mini challenge.
The
What was it
mini
called? Spill the
challenge.
tea,
Spill the
Yes.
tea. Let's go.
which was pretty fun and
Mhm.
funny. And I
Mhm.
thought, what Ruth said, she was like, "So, mistress, you're shady, hairy, and a thief." Like everybody was voting on mistress. I thought the one thing that kind of like made my I was like, "What?" was when Anitra said Lucy was the funniest.
Well, Anitra is probably the person who spends the most time
It
talking
must
to
be
her.
because you
Yeah.
don't see them together that often. I mean, with the edits, right?
Right.
But everybody said mistress,
Mistress.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
Except
for
Anitra.
Anitra.
Yeah. Maybe Anitra's version of funny is different. It's like she thinks it's comical that Lucy is so
Ridiculous.
volatile.
That could be.
Right.
And then Joe, what did you say?
Well, she also didn't pick Lucy for the smartest, though. Everyone else chose Lucy except for
Right.
Nitra. So it's just Nitra she's in her own world.
And I thought it was hilarious that even Lucy knew that everybody was going to pick her to go home. And so she picked herself.
Yes. That was smart.
I think Mistress said that Sasha was the hairiest. And I'm like, Mistress,
Yeah.
what are you looking at?
No, that was Lux. Lux said Sasha was hairy.
No, I thought Mistress said she was the hairiest.
No, Lux said Lucy was the
Yeah,
hairiest.
Lux said Lucy.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was Lucy. I knew
Which
it was
is-
somebody wrong.
And I'm like, what about Sasha have we not seen?
I know.
There's
I
no
know.
way I bet Mistress just did it as a joke.
Right.
Yeah. That was cute. And
Yeah.
then Lucy won.
won.
So she got some monies, but then she also got to divide up who got which teacher. So we were introduced to the cute, like 5 different teachers. She wasn't as shady as she could have been. I thought for the first 4, she matched them up like pretty well. I couldn't believe she gave Miss Tang.
Me either. Like
No.
I thought that I'm like, what? Like this is stupid.
I know.
Like,
Lucy, of all people, I thought she would be so strategic, and like she did definitely screw Lux over on
Oh,
purpose,
yeah.
which she talked about later.
If you really want to screw people up, what you do is you give the young lady who was with Anitra to Mistress, right? Because that means Mistress is going to have to sew all new clothes.
Well,
Right?
and something that's the completely opposite, like like a skin tone you're not used to painting, like all of those things that it would be way harder. But really, like everybody matched up pretty well, except for poor Lux.
Well, I don't know.
I disagree.
I don't know who that woman would have best fit.
No.
I disagree that Lux wasn't properly matched. What Lux did not do was engage that woman. So she never had an opportunity to connect with her until they were already doing their makeup for the runway. And at that point, it was too late.
Yeah, I was just going to say they got to know each other more when she was doing her makeup, but they had already designed everything and done the outfits. Yeah.
If she would have really taken time with that woman, but it was, it's one of those things that I talked a little bit about last week when I said I was nervous for her this challenge, not only because of the makeup, but because of her, delusion, her narcissism. Like she's in her head. And narcissistic is a bad term. She's not narcissistic. She's just very, very confident.
Yeah.
It gets in the way sometimes of her being able to fully connect with people. And she even talked about it on the episode where they show her family. And this was just us getting to actually see it play out in a way that was legitimate and tangible. If she takes more time to get to know that woman, I think she probably can do something that's a little more cohesive than she ended up with.
Yeah.
But Lucy did it because she was shading her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That too.
She
But
absolutely gave her the oldest person, because she wanted to screw her over.
Yeah. She even said it in the Untucked.
She finally admitted it.
Well, she first said,
Yeah.
I gave it to you because you're stiff competition. And she's like, well, Sasha is technically more competition than I am. He's like, well, also because of what you said.
Yeah.
Which didn't bother her. So
no, she was not bothered at all.
Like, girl, finally the truth comes out.
Right.
So we got, let's see, Mrs. Marchbanks was with Sasha. Ms. Reyes was with Lux. Mrs. Wallace was with Lucy. Mrs. Mahoney with Anitra, and Ms. Tang with Mistress. And then we can get into their drag names later when we look at the outfits. So really, it was just them like getting to know each other, and then Rue did come in and chat with them a bit. Anything from those chats that you got? I didn't really have anything written down, I don't think.
I always like it when they have like guests and they're doing makeovers, and then they have them interact with each other, and the queens start getting like competitive, and then the guests start getting competitive. When they did the walk off,
was hilarious.
Yeah, that was really fun.
But the other thing I noted, which I thought was really, I don't know, have they done this before where they made them lip sync? Because that was cracking me up. Both like watching them do like a run through and then the actual lip sync, I was just like, this is so funny and cute. But I loved when Anitra was trying to teach her daughter the duck walk.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I don't think my daughter, wait, what did she say? I don't think my daughter was gifted my same gifts. And I was like, that is adorable. And it makes me want to, I don't think I could do that. Like watching her try to show her, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could not do a duck walk.
Duck walking is very difficult. No, I do not think I can duck walk because I told you it's mostly in your knees, and my knees are problematic.
Mine too.
Yeah, so I don't think I can do it. Even when my knees were good, I don't think I could have done it.
My knees are average, and I want them to stay that way.
So they did the little rehearsal, and then it was basically time for like makeup and stuff. Anything from
the makeup? Not really.
I loved Sasha's reaction to, was it Lux or was it? I think it was Lux, for what Lux was doing to her teacher.
Yeah.
That expression on her face, she was just like, I don't know. It was just so funny to me.
Like, I don't know, girl.
It's just out. She's like, I love Sasha's facial expressions.
And the other thing I will note that I really liked is because they were talking about, did you teach your daughters any of the slang, about shade and tea, and then the one was like, us moms, when we say gather the girls, we mean go put a bra. That is adorable. And then like it was time to hit the runway. So I say we just get into it.
Let's get into it.
Oh.
Bring it to the runway. The runway was the challenge, right?
Basically.
Yeah.
So first we had a Mother Rue in her like private school-esque outfit. What did you guys think?
I loved this. That outfit was so fierce. It was fierce, honey. It was fierce. I loved it. I thought this was so awesome. And you also know that yellow and black are my signature colors. So if you have on yellow and black, you are winning. So that
for all of our faithful listeners, if you don't know yet,
if you want to get on OT's good side, wear yellow and black.
This view doesn't show it so much, but I feel like the wig was like missing a little bit for me, but I think it was just the angle initially. But that's a tiny critique. I thought it was super fun. I like the leather gloves, how it's like a little like bad girl at the private school, Joe, what did you think?
Not my favorite. The wig was nice. I don't know what to call this, so I'm just gonna say it and hopefully it makes sense. But you see how the shoulder line, the black and white line goes down across her body?
Yep.
It makes it look boxy and it loses shape for me.
Oh.
So I didn't like it. I just thought she just looked a little like misproportioned.
Okay. I can see that. Not looking at the picture.
It's asymmetric.
Well, it looked asymmetrically wrong.
Okay, so first up, we had Ferocity Colby and Sasha Colby.
Ferocity is
Everything.
everything. I mean, honey, like when you talk about, she was already gorgeous.
She better be on All Stars.
And then
she better. I want Ferocity to be on the show.
I mean, can you seriously? That ponytail, she looked amazing.
Yep.
She looked amazing. And the fact that they padded really gave it that extra thing, because both of them had fantastic bodies. They could have came out in their regular bodies with no padding and still slayed. But that extra padding, those giant boobs, the giant hips, it just did something. And they looked amazing. And they looked exactly like sisters. Like Ferocity better be on the TV show House of Colby.
She better be.
Yeah.
Well, she said in Untucked she wants to be her friend, so I think they will be
Keep
friends.
in touch.
Also, did Sasha say? I know some people made both outfits. Did she make these or
Yes,
not?
those were made.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she made those because remember she was designing them in the room workroom when Ru came in. I believe she was talking about how they were going to design them.
I loved Ferocity so much. I love that she, again, like similar to Judges, when she was just like, I love Drag Race, and I'm like a true fan. That's like, I want this so much. Like, do whatever you want. I'm here to like have a good time. And I loved Sasha's reaction when she said that her inspiration was Laomi. And
yes,
Sasha was just like,
same.
Girl, I didn't think it could get any better. And now she's like, drops Laomi on me. Like,
yes.
Who is this person? I loved these two so much. I knew that they would be in the top immediately. I was just like, of course.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Ferocity, I knew. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we also knew like Sasha is the mother of a very famous house of gorgeous people.
Yes.
We knew she was going to beat her. We knew she was going to beat her.
Yeah.
It was, it was a no-brainer that whoever she got was going to look gorgeous. So
yeah, and you're right, OT, because like Sasha doesn't normally pad, so that was a fun choice to just be like, let's do it, let's drag it up even more.
Yeah.
At first watching it, I thought this was really good, top 2, and then watching it again, this is my favorite pairing.
Mine too. I was shocked she didn't win.
Yeah, so she was like, I was teeter-tottering between her and another to win, and I was picking the other. But now I definitely think they deserve to win here.
Yeah, I definitely thought they were going to win, but Chad picked someone different, and we'll talk about that later.
Okay, so next up we had La La Duca, I gotta say it slow, and Lucy. What did you guys think about this one?
It looks generic.
Trademark term for Lucy now.
Okay, Joe, South America, gray.
It's just, I don't know. I don't get like the pattern with it. Like, I don't get the story here. And the jacket kind of takes away from that va 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 voom Lucy's always talking about that she usually has in her drag. Like the first thing you notice about Lucy is her body.
Yes.
And she chose Lala. I'm sorry, I forget the teacher's name, because she has Miss Wallace, because she has all the right things, and
they did look a lot alike. Yeah,
they did. Yeah, but I mean, they looked exactly alike. Their makeup.
Yeah, their makeup.
Well, yeah, okay, great. But like with the outfit, it just wasn't. I don't know. I was not gagging.
Yeah, I thought the outfits were cute, but very much like you, Joe. Lala's jacket was a little too big for me. Yeah. Lucy's jacket covered up the best part of Lucy's drag, which is the way she does her body. I loved the print, though. I thought it was a really cool, fun-looking print. I hated Lucy's hair. I thought it was way too big. Yeah. And if she was going to go that big, she should have made Lala's hair bigger. And those shoes. Why those red shoes with that leather plastic garbage? Like, what are you doing? This is Drag Race. You don't let her come out with those shoes.
She looks like a forgotten Christmas ornament.
Yeah. So those were the things. But
Well,
I thought Lala looked gorgeous. I love that hair on her, and that mug was beat. It looked just like Lucy's.
and I agree with Michelle, and I think this has come up with Lucy for other challenges, which is where she was saying it just seemed like there wasn't as much joy and fun and like chemistry as the others. Not that there, and I think Lucy's problem is she would hear that and be like, yes, there was. And it's like, there was, but we're comparing you to the other four that were on the stage, right? And compared to them, this didn't seem as like you guys had bonded and loosey goosey and like having a good time. It just seems forced because she is so like rigid and like I gotta do this. Like we do this, this, and this. Gotta be the best, right? It's like she doesn't let go and have fun, and it shows through sometimes.
That's the word I was going to use. Rigid.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the
And
same issue she had when Lux said, she's her drag is generic or not as unique.
yep.
She hears like it's not unique at all. She's not
Yep.
creative.
So Madame Thang and Mistress.
First off, 2 toots for the name Madam Thing because that is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. I love this. I love their whole shtick more than like the actual dresses. I love their chemistry. I love their whole story. The way they ended it, just like, hey, come over here, big boy.
Let me show
I
you what I got.
loved all of it. Take me to the show. Take my money.
Yeah.
I was into the performance of it all, and I thought it was very smart of Mistress to go simple
Yeah.
and with something that is in her wheelhouse. I was not super impressed with the look of the gowns. I thought she did the makeup really well. I thought both of their makeup was beautiful. I thought they looked like sisters. I love the performance. I thought, performance A, drag C+.
And I like the idea of going kind of like evil and like devil and angel kind of, where they had the two different color palettes. It was clear that they like immediately clicked to, which helped out in all of like their tasks and the performances like going forward.
This is who I wanted to win.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So I think I was just going in there like Mistress is gonna win. Mistress is gonna win, and then I was so in love with like how they performed that I didn't look at the outfits as closely.
Yeah.
I still thought she did a really great job, and Mistress is very smart. But the outfits are, a little lacking.
Yeah.
This is also who I initially picked to win, and it was just because of the way that the judges critiqued her. I thought, oh, okay, it sounds like Mistress is going to win, but we will find out later that did not happen. So,
and then we had Asia Azul.
Oh, sorry, I messed up the name.
Azulejo.
Azul.
Asia
I like
Azul.
Azulejo.
And Lux, aka Jennifer Coolidge. And Lux.
It doesn't matter. The name is wrong. This is wrong.
She looks so much like Jennifer Coolidge, though. And
She does.
So funny. And that she had no idea who Jennifer Coolidge was made it even funnier.
Yeah.
Yes.
The gays, they're trying to murder me.
This is the biggest disappointment in the whole world for me from Lux. I could not believe that she came out there with not a speck of blue material on her garment. You are a seasoned watcher of this show. You have proven that time and time and time again, which means that you have seen Michelle on multiple occasions say to people, your outfits don't look like they go together.
Yep.
Why didn't you take some of this and put it on to you? Why didn't you take some of that and put it on to them? Why would you walk out there without a speck of blue?
I wonder if she ran out of time, and because she is so like seasoned with Drag Race, she's not gonna make an excuse. So she just didn't say that. I mean,
Right.
I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt because it does seem like, because if she would have made it even like her top piece,
Yeah,
like any of it really,
It still would not have gone together.
it would have been better. But
she still would have been in the bottom.
yes.
it would have been better. This is a miss on so many levels. Lux looks amazing because Lux has an amazing body.
Yeah.
You could put her in a wet plastic bag and she'd look fantastic, right? But ultimately, like this outfit is, like Michelle said, it's 3 pieces of fabric wrapped around her body with 5 knots. Why didn't she wrap a blue piece of fabric
Right.
around her body? Why didn't she cut half of that cape and make it blue and peach, and then make her dress blue and peach? Like, you spent all this time doing her outfit, which still is mediocre. This was just a miss. It's just a miss.
Yeah.
I mean, she could at least put like a blue cape on her ass. That way,
Anything. Yeah.
it would have worked out a little bit.
Nothing would have made this work. This was not her moment. The positive aha moment that I had was very much like Bob the drag queen, who also went through his season with only one real slip up. And his slip up was also during the makeup challenge. And during the makeup challenge, he also lip sync against the villain of the season and sent that person home.
Who was the villain that season?
Derek Barry.
Derek Barry.
Oh, right.
And so Lux is also following like a very similar Bob the drag queen sort of trajectory.
I was not happy, but like setting it up to be Lux versus Lucy for this lip sync, I was just like, this seems right.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was great. It was just as exciting as when we finally got to see Bob and Derek lip sync against one another, because they had been like, that had been building, and everybody wanted to see it. Like I think the only other real rivalry that was more exciting was the Alyssa Edwards and Coco Montrese lip sync, because that started day one. Like, they had so much history, even before the show.
Right.
So yeah.
You ready for this? You ready for another parallel between those two?
Go for it.
Also with Bob and Derek, they won a challenge together, the political ad challenge.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Right.
Yes. Oh my God.
Derek Barry eats babies.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. I completely forgot about that additional parallel.
So there you go. And they connected briefly for the challenge.
Yeah. And then went right back to getting on each other's
But
nerves.
I mean, at that point, Derek was more hateful to Naomi Small.
Yeah, he had switched it because he just had to continue fighting with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
and Naomi talked about his drag.
So there is a chance for you, Lux. It's not the Sasha Colby meet and greet or the Sasha and Anitra meet and greet at this point.
Yep. Speaking of Anitra, let's get to the last one.
Yeah.
We had Elektra and Anitra. So Anitra and travel size Anitra.
When he called her Barbie and Skipper, I was done.
Dead.
Yeah. Done.
They looked great.
They did.
And I did, like, I think Michelle pointed out, I love their presentation and that it was so different than everybody else's. Yeah. And it was like Anitra was kind of like guiding her around presenting her around the stage to be, look at my daughter. Yeah. Look at Elektra. And because she was so much taller, it made it even better. So it was just like, I thought they were great. I love the outfits too.
They were great. I thought the outfits were great. Hashtag arm foreskin. But
foreskin.
as fantastic as this is, I am so over this silhouette on Anitra.
Yeah, I know.
It's great.
But it is Anitra. It
is. And I love that she knows her body so well. I love that she knows what looks good on her. I love that she wears things that look good on her. But honey, I am over this silhouette. And going into the top 4, I'm hoping on this last runway that she really gives us something different.
Yeah.
Right. Like
surprising.
something. Yeah, that's the word. Something surprising. It doesn't, because I still want it to be quintessentially Anitra. I want to look at it and say, yes, that looks like Anitra, but I also want it to be surprising.
Yep.
Not a bodysuit with legs.
Yeah, I like this. I thought she did good. I knew she would be in like the top 3 or safe, but I did not respond well to the outfit. I think it reads a lot of gymnastics to me, and I don't think I like the gymnastic outfits. I really don't like. I think they're terrible in general. Just not Anitra.
Yeah.
Is just in general. I think gymnastic outfits are just childish, in a sense. So I saw this and I was like, this is not exciting. And I've seen exciting looks from Anitra. I didn't like this as much as I liked even Mistress's stretch dresses and Sasha Colby. I enjoyed theirs a lot better. I did love the chemistry, so that was really good. But from an outfit standpoint, that strikingly, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seemed like they were kind of evenly weighting like outfit, chemistry, and did you look alike?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I agree. I completely agree with the tops and the bottoms for sure. That was an easy.
Yeah, that was
the
easy.
Winner could be debated about those three.
Yeah, I think any of those three could have won.
Sure.
Mistress, Anitra, or Sasha. I believed that Sasha would win, and when she didn't, I was shocked, and I was even more shocked that Mistress also did not win, and that Chad successfully called Anitra.
That's really why you were.
That's the big thing. Because when the commercial break went and Chad's like, Anitra definitely won, right? I was like, you think so? I was like, I feel like Mistress got the best critiques, so it's probably going to be Mistress. I said, but we all know they love Sasha, so it's probably going to be Sasha. And I was wrong with both of my probablys and completely off. Yeah.
Okay. And then real quick, like I said before, I loved that they did a fun little lip sync to Ru's song.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
Champion.
The thing that killed me was Ferocity Colby doing the hairography.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
She was giving us the Colby experience.
The Colby hairography.
Yes.
Ferocity. Come on.
I loved how Asia Azul was running in. She ran into somebody. I was like, she really is having a Jennifer Coolidge moment.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like, she doesn't know Jennifer Coolidge. I was like, that is your soul sister.
Yes.
Right
You're
there.
gonna get to know her.
I know you need to.
But they were all having a blast. And then you can see it. It was so cute.
It was fun.
It was great.
Yeah. So Anitra wins. Sasha and Mistress are safe. We get the moment that has been building, the Lux Lucy lip sync. I want to hear what you all have to say about this. I'm gonna save mine to the end.
Okay, Joe, you go first.
What?
The lip sync.
About the lip sync.
Oh, I don't know the lip sync. Lucy's gone. That's all. I already knew that was gonna happen.
I think there was no chance. Lucy never had a chance.
I didn't really even like watch it. I mean, Lux did good. She had some good choreography. If I looked, I didn't really pay attention because I was like, Lucy's gone.
No, Lux didn't just do good. She did amazing. I thought Lux was phenomenal. And I even watched it the second time. It was one because again, like it was like I wanted Lucy to go home, and so I was like cheering for Lux, but I was yelling and like snapping and being like, yes, when she did like the kind of like dance across the stage, kind of step movement was incredible. She was like down, bent over, backwards. She was like putting every single ounce into that because she also wanted Lucy to go home, but also she's just like a performer too. Like no matter what, she wants to stay in the competition.
I did notice she stepped in front of Lucy a lot, and I usually don't care for that so much unless it's like part of the thing.
It was only twice.
But I don't like Lucy, so I was fine with it. But I mean, I'm not saying I'm not trying to downplay like how great she was. I just wasn't worried.
Yeah,
I expected this of Lux.
You weren't like analyzing each one, being like, "Oh my God, who's it gonna be?"
I was not worried. I felt most at peace with this lip sync than any lip sync because if Lucy was safe, then I'd be critiquing that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be critiquing that shit. I'll be sending the email, but RuPaul. Like I would have a rebuttal of the rebuttal. Okay.
Right.
So it would have been over. I was not worried. I was with Lux. Like, I'm not worried. I could beat Lucy. No problem.
Not to mention that Lux like went down on her knees and back scooted the whole way back the run
while doing choreography.
And it was sexy.
And it was sexy. I'm picturing myself doing that. It would not be sexy.
It not only did she do it, she did sexy. And it made me immediately think about Irene. And I was like, take that, Irene. Because remember in the first episode when Irene tried to scoot across the stage and she just ended up pushing herself because her leg wasn't doing the right thing.
Amazing.
Lux destroyed her. Like Joe said earlier, she had no chance. And well, yes, she did.
I do not have the same concern.
Yeah, she did have one chance. And the one chance that she had, and this was something that Chad and I kept paying attention to, Lux was moving so fast, it was almost impossible to see if she knew the words.
Yeah.
It almost looked like she didn't know the words.
She did, but yes,
but
it was
but like in the moments where she was moving slow, you know, she was lip syncing, but she was moving really, really fast, a lot. And so I was wondering, like, does she know the words? But it didn't matter because she looked so damn good. God, she looked good. I mean, she just lit up that stage.
And Lucy looked generic.
Yeah. You couldn't take your eyes off of her. No matter where she went, the light was following her. Like, she was the star of that lip sync.
Well,
period.
And that's what you want when it's like literally you're lip syncing for like not really your life, but to like stay on this show, to like win, win the money, to win the honor of being like crowned the queen, right? You want to see someone that's like completely out of breath at the end, right? Where it's just like, you know, like I'm going to put whatever moves I have in my arsenal are coming out, right? Like I'm going to try everything. And it makes me mad. And we've seen this where queens just are like subpar or like half-assing it, you know? And
Honey Mahogany.
You can see the difference. You can
Layla McQueen.
See the difference.
Exclamation point. Or Dax exclamation point.
Joe, what Dax question mark. What were you going to say, Joe?
I was saying with everything that's happened now.
Vivian Panay. Oh, sorry.
With everything that's happened now, like who are we thinking? Who do we want to win? And who do we think is going to win? If they're different.
Just like you were saying, Joe, where you're like, I wasn't stressing about the lip sync. Now I feel relaxed because I would be happy with any of them winning. You know, I hate when it gets down to where I'm like, I really don't want this queen to, you know, I would really love, because then it's kind of more stressful. But I honestly, all four of them I really like for different reasons. And so.
And they're all POCs, FYI.
I know.
Joe, you seem very confident in what you have to say.
No. OT, go ahead. I'm gonna do like you did. I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna let y'all answer first.
Okay. I want to say what I believe I said a while ago. I would like to see Mistress win. I think Mistress has done a bang up job. Mistress is from my hometown. She's the first person from my hometown here. I want to see somebody. I'm so glad she made it to the Final Four because Houston has some amazing queens that I think have consistently been overlooked for Drag Race. And I think that Mistress being there and doing so well and representing Houston so well, I would like to see Mistress. There's also a part of me that is obsessed with Lux.
Your daughter.
Yeah, my daughter. The confidence, the drag, the performance, the talent. I would love to see Lux win it as well. But I still believe it's going to be Sasha.
And then, like I said last week, have grown such a fondness for Anitra.
Yes.
So again, this is where I'm like, I can just sit back and eat some popcorn, and I will be happy
and just enjoy. Yeah, no matter. Same with you. What you say, Kelly. At this point, I do not care which of them wins because they all deserve it. Yeah. They have all proven themselves. They have all worked extremely hard. Not a single one of them got here by mistake. They all busted their butts, and you saw it every week. They put their talent on the line. They showed their uniqueness. They have charisma. They have all of it. Any of these four queens can and deserves to win. All four of them deserve to win.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And we've seen before, report card does not matter.
Right.
Right? It's how you do throughout the season, what special moments you have, all of that's being taken into account. Are you a good representation, etc.? And all these queens fit the bill. I had to think about, because I'm in this damn bracket, I had to think about who is going to win, and it's killing me. It's killing my brain cells.
To try to
So I
pick.
can only think strategically.
You have to
on
pick
this.
like top two, then like, or just have to
I
pick
have to
the
pick who's
winner.
going to win.
Just the winner, then. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, this next one, they say one person's going home, no one's going home, but they say one person's going home, but we all know. Okay, if someone went home, they fucked up royally.
Yeah, which they've done before.
Which they've done before. Like, yeah, maybe they'll say condone yourself when they went conduct yourself and they get ousted.
That part.
Yeah, that part.
Our namesake, though.
But I'm
that.
all for if they don't make it to the finale, there's someone messed up royally and maybe has to leave the competition. I don't know, because they cheated or something. But I honestly thought Mistress was going to win. She was the person who's going to win, the person who I wanted to win. She fit both of those. Now she's just the person I wanted to win. I think there's a very great story for Anitra, and I think she will win. Lux and Mistress are my tops. You know, I adore them. Sasha, I've loved the longest out of them, but I just like watching back this season. There are going to be so many more moments I'm going to enjoy from Lux and Mistress, not just with how they perform, but how they interact and talk. It's just going to be phenomenal. Anitra has a lot of great moments showcased to the judges. And a lot, like throughout the episodes, you know, she doesn't back down from like a fight. She has a strong walk. They keep mentioning that. She's been told she was born to do drag. Her story is beautiful. She's from Vegas, who I think is our first Vegas queen.
Derek Barry is from Vegas and Coco Montrese.
Okay, so she's our second queen from Vegas. I love you, Coco. And she has a catchphrase, walk that fucking duck, that is signature for all of season 15. Yeah. She won the first challenge, which is a good indicator that they are going to do very well when it comes to winning. And she picked up the last 2 challenges. It's going to be hard to deny.
She's got that great story that we like, where she's kind of blossomed as the season has gone on, right? Yeah. Like she has evolved, which the other 3 have just maintained their amazingness, really. I mean, everybody has had like a couple of moments, but for the most part, they've stayed up high. And Anitra has been great, but in terms of like her just as herself, her confidence, all of that, like she's just kind of blossomed. So I'm just happy with this final 4.
Yeah, me too. Great analysis, Joe.
Thank you. We'll see.
I do think, well, look, I told you last week, if there is anybody whose guts I trust when it comes to RuPaul's Drag Race, you have very, very, very rarely let me down.
I mean, she's trending in the right direction.
She is, and everyone loves her.
Yeah.
Like there's not going to be any controversy. And honestly, I hate to say this because honestly, fuck, you know, other people's opinions. But when it comes to how big the fan base is now for Drag Race, I want a queen. I want a black queen that wins, or even a bigger queen that wins, or any other queen that's in a minority of drag queens to win, where the majority of people are like, yes, absolutely undeniable. And I hate that it has to be that way. But that's what I want. And so Mistress, I really thought she needed to win this challenge to contend. And the fact that she didn't, that cuts her down by a lot.
But I think a lot of people love Sasha. There's not much. She's not like a villain.
She does. No, a lot of people do love Sasha, but now Anitra has won 3.
Yeah.
So now Anitra is.
And Sasha is also a part of the NGFFL Hawaii Flag Football League. So
yeah,
did she play?
Yeah,
she has played.
Oh,
well, I'll be going to the one.
I'm sure she's too busy now.
Oh yeah. Does she wear those gold gloves when she's playing?
No, I did not see gloves.
Those
But
are
I
actually
mean,
her football gloves that she's been wearing.
But what's
during her-
crazy is that I didn't even know. The Hawaii Flag Football League released a video in support of Sasha, and I was like, "Oh my god, how did I not realize?" And I'm almost certain I've met her now that I'm thinking about it, because I've met a couple of the Hawaii players, and I'm like, I was scrolling back in my mind. Well, I've met almost all of the Hawaii players, especially last year in Hawaii, but I was scrolling back in my mind. I was like, I think we were introduced. I think I've like met and shook hands with Sasha and was just like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Okay,
Yeah.
bye." Right? Like, damn it, what a missed opportunity.
Well, everybody looks the same. When you're sweaty and in your flag football t-shirt, it's just like everybody kind of looks the same.
Yes.
You know?
And yeah, and I'm super busy at Gable anyway because I'm running around like a crazy person.
Exactly. So let's get into can do's and condones, I think.
Yeah.
Let's start with the bad ones first and end with the good ones. So
Oh, okay.
condones this week. Who's got one?
You go first because you have your 7 pages of notes.
I know, but most of mine was positive this week. Oh, I mean, I don't want to pick Lucy again.
my condoned is again Lucy.
I just was so mad at. I can't remember the last time a queen was in that small little moment where they leave the runway when they've sashayed away, and then they have their little like moment in the workroom where they're reading their letters. But she spent that time still just being bitter and still just being like, I shouldn't have won. I feel slighted. Mistress just put her girl in a stretch dress. Like blah blah blah. And it's just like, let it like you. This is not a good look for you.
It's going to make it very hard for her to get hired.
If your goal is to build a drag family, this is not a good way to do it.
Yeah. Well, she'll get diabetes and all those other mean, bitter. It'll be her, diabetes, Utica, and they'll
They can
redo
call
me.
themselves
Yeah,
the
but I
bitter
mean,
betties.
I've met Utica before, and I'm fine. I like Lucy. I just would just stay clear from. Like, I can understand everyone else's like perspective, but Lucy, she hasn't expressed or shown any, humility.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She's not humble.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I remember Roxy Andrews coming to Houston after her season on regular Drag Race and then after her season on All Stars. And I remember how sparse the crowds were. And I was like, and this is when it hits you. Like, this is when you realize, because when I just finished rewatching season 5, and Roxy Andrews was a stone cold knockout on that season. Like,
Absolutely.
she was a killer, gorgeous every time on that runway. It was right. All of her, like, she did great in the challenges. It was right. But she was so mean.
You have to be likable. People
she
don't.
was so unlikable. And when I tell you, it translated into, like, we would go to bar, like you go to a bar here, and when I tell you these people here in Houston love their drag queens, they love their drag queens. Those bars are packed. It is wall to wall people. You can't move. You can't breathe. You can't even get to the stage to give them dollars. And when I tell you, when I went to see Roxy Andrews twice, if there were 50 people in a bar that could hold 300,
Yep.
easy, 50 people.
Because you haven't done anything to make us want to give you our money. Like,
Yeah.
It's not.
And the love for Jinx was so huge.
It was so huge.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen to Lucy. Speaking of, also my condoned, Lucy LaDuca. And specifically, the way she handled the Lux situation. Just be honest. Just say it hurt my feelings. Just say I was bothered. Just say I'm angry. Because you can't move, and this is what is going to, like, you can't move past these things until you acknowledge that they're real.
Yeah.
And she doesn't deserve to be in the bottom even at all.
Yeah. Like, and she won't acknowledge that it's real. And so she'll never be able to have relationships with Lux or Mistress or Selena, because she can't acknowledge that these problems are real. Like, this really happened. I'm really upset. I really got angry. I really made a bad decision. And you have to be able to do that. That's very important for growth.
Yeah. I mean, did she I don't know. I don't want to talk about Lucy anymore. Never mind.
All right. So what's your condone?
Well, unfortunately, we have to.
What's your condone then, Joe?
Well, my condone is, regardless if you're going to win the mini challenge or not, never vote for yourself to go home, because you're going to go home.
Yeah.
Like, never do that. Like, I don't care at all. I'm not going to vote for myself. That's not smart. That you're manifesting that shit.
Putting it in the universe.
Yeah.
Not only are you manifesting it, it just looks bad to the judges.
It does. It's like, oh, so she's going to do anything to win?
Yes. Because she wants to win at all costs. Win.
Yeah.
That's all that's all she cared about all season, was she wants to win everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, condos.
My can-do is also Lucy LaDuca. And once I say this, you guys will understand why. As Lucy LaDuca was walking out, her closing line was a very famous line from Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Was it? I was like,
yes.
How does this sound familiar?
That's why it sounded familiar.
Oh, so you mean it wasn't unique?
No.
Yeah, you mean it was generic?
Wait,
yes.
Lucy wasn't unique? Oh my gosh. Oh my Lanta.
Oh, but that you both know how near and dear
I need to rewatch that soon.
To my heart. You know that I forced it on you, and I'm appreciative that you all appreciated me forcing that movie on you. But when she said that, I was just like, I want to hate you, but I can't hate you when you're quoting one of my favorite movies of all time. Line. Yeah, it's a great closing line. So kudos to Lucy LaDuca for quoting Elvira from Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, especially for a huge fan of that movie. I've seen that movie at least 500 times in my life. I could quote it. I could recite the whole movie word for word. I love it. So that was super, super fun for me.
Joe?
I guess it's going to be a couple of things. I just want to talk about some of the like fashion choices or the looks that I saw that I really enjoyed. Rue's jacket in the workroom.
Yes, that long jacket. Oh.
With the orange like squiggles on the white.
Yes.
Girl, I want that.
Yep.
I want all of that. I want that, and I want that pattern on a shirt or a tank. I want that pattern on some pants. I love it. It's gorgeous. And Lux's jacket, the black and white.
I had that written down as maybe it can do that whole look.
Oh my gosh, she looked
with the hat
amazing.
And
like she looked so good. I know she was sweating under that hat with this whole challenge, but damn, she looked good.
Yes.
That was an amazing workroom outfit.
Yes. Lux gorgeous.
Yes.
Loved it.
Yes.
And Michelle looked good on the judging last night. Like, damn, she looked good.
This is the first time I could super notice like the reduction. Because she was like showing it off, and she looked great.
She looked so good. She looked snatched, put together. I was like, God damn! I was like, come on, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
She looked, in my opinion, she looked better than Rue that night. So
yeah,
but that's all.
My can do. So I was gonna say the Lux's outfit, but two more Lux things that I loved when I think these were both from Untucked, when she was just like spitting shade back at Lucy and just being so honest.
Deadpan.
Yep. First she said. Like Mistress was like also like kind of prodding, like being like, well, what did you think? What about this?
I love Mistress.
Yeah, and she's like, so Lux, would you say this was a creative and unique look? And she was like, it's a cute dress.
and then Mistress is like, but you didn't answer my question. Is it creative and unique? No.
Like, and then she was like, do you think that you will beat Lucy in a lip sync? Yes. Like before the question, she's like, yes. It's
Lucy, do you think you'll beat Lux? I don't know.
Yeah. And the other thing I loved when she was talking about her like daughter that she, the teacher that she dragged up, and she was like, She has star quality. That's what it was. That's the resemblance. It runs in the family. That's the family resemblance, is the star quality. And all the other queens are like, girl.
Yes.
She's so fun. That's so funny. She's
love
amazing.
I love that confidence. I want her parents to raise all of my kids.
I just love, it's a cute dress.
I would love to have seen Lux and Valentina on a season together.
Oh my god!
I don't know if they would hate each other, or they would just be kikiing like in the shadows,
or it would be like an epic back and forth. You know?
Oh yeah, that's what I think it would be, Kelly. I think it would just be an epic back and forth. But Valentina doesn't really volley super well, so I don't know that she could keep up with Lux in that way. But that I think there would be some moments.
Or will Lux elevate her potential?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I think we covered everything.
It's a cute dress.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am awesome. Yo, Lux is going to be one of those queens that we will be quoting for the rest of our years, like Alyssa Edwards. Like that's how I feel about Lux.
Yeah.
I haven't seen someone with this much star quality since Alyssa Edwards on this show for me.
Yeah.
Like Alyssa Edwards, just that personality, there was just something about it. She was so entertaining, and she wasn't trying to be entertaining. Right. And that's what Lux had. Like Lux is such a superstar. Yep. She's so entertaining, and she's not even trying yet.
Well, and that's why Alyssa is still a queen that's everywhere, doing everything, and has all these different like things that she's involved in and making so much money because of that. Because it's addictive. We're like, we want more of this. Like whatever you're giving, we want more. So if you're on a TV show, if you're on a podcast, like we want it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just her being herself.
Exactly.
I love the queens that can just be themselves, take it or leave it, embrace it. It's always a home run. And whenever the queens are trying to hide it, it's not good.
Yep. The queens that can't be themselves are the ones that I always like the least.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every time.
Yeah.
Back rows. So we covered it.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Put on a condom. We're wrapping it up.
We need to get a sponsor like Trojan or something.
Yes. Thank you once again for joining us on Condone Yourself. Please be sure to tune back in next week, where we will break down whatever happens on this episode with the final four. I cannot believe we're finally here. We made it. And so please be sure to continue to like, follow, and subscribe at Condone Yourself Podcast. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So please continue watching. We love all of our tens of followers, and we can't wait until we get hundreds. So tell your friends. Well, we have to get to hundreds first. I want millions, but I want to get to hundreds. So
yes.
Yeah. So thanks for watching.
Come back next time.
Come
back next week.
And condone yourself.
And condone yourself.
The bass line from Joe.
The bass line from Joe. Bloop, bloop.
Bloop,
bloop. All right. I'm ending.
Unique.